Good morning, everyone. Welcome to New Thought Center of Hawaii's Sunday service of October 4th, 2020. My name is Pasha McGregor. I'm your facilitator this morning. If you've attended New Thought services before, you can imagine that I'm sitting on a chair in the front with the angel tapestry behind and a table in between. On the other side of the table is our guest speaker, Nancy Shipley Rubin, but you don't see her yet, but you will. And our musician for today is Christine Laria. But in reality, we are in three separate places. So you will see all of us, but not at the same time, I believe. Christine is going to start us off with an opening song.
Good morning, everybody. It's good to be with you. This song is called Grateful. It's by Deborah Barbara, and it's a great way to start the morning. Grateful for the morning, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling, grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this space, grateful for believing that God is all there is. God is all there is. We are grateful to be together, knowing clear in our hearts. We are here, grateful. All is possible in love. All is here, all is now. For love is all there is. Love, grateful for this morning, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling, grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that love is all there is. Love is all there is. Love is all there
Thank you, Christine. That was beautiful. What a great way to begin. I'd like to share an opening prayer now. It's one that kind of helps me start the day well. I think it kind of comes from the Buddhist tradition, maybe with a dash of Hinduism thrown in. I know Nancy draws from universal sources in the work she does, so I'm pretty sure she won't mind. May all beings be well and happy. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be free from the causes of suffering, ignorance of our true nature, egoism, attachment, which dwells on pleasure, aversion, which dwells on pain, and the desire to cling to life beyond our allotted time. Thank you. And I imagine most of you that are tuning in this morning have some previous experience or knowledge of New Thought, but I'll give a little background just in case we have a few explorers who aren't already aware of what New Thought is all about. So our little center in Kealakekua recently celebrated its 49th, we call it our birthday. It's the anniversary of when our root church was incorporated, which was in September of 1971. We call ourselves a multi-faith community. We don't want to limit ourselves to just interfaith because there's more than two. And we strive to create a sanctuary of aloha for the nourishment, development, and evolution of each individual's spiritual path. Our root church that I referred to was actually Kona Community Church of Religious Science. And we went through a unity phase at some point and then cut loose and became just an independent New Thought spiritual center. We are, however, affiliated with the International New Thought Alliance, which is not a church, but an umbrella organization that brings together groups and individuals who share certain common beliefs and attitudes. Among them, the idea that a new thought embodied in consciousness produces a new condition. The person who's credited with using new thought in that context is Judge Thomas Troward. The INTA also includes many unity and religious science churches and centers for spiritual living, which is sort of the newest incarnation of religious science churches. So you can visit our website if you want to learn more about these things. Meanwhile, in deference to our roots in religious science, we like to include in every Sunday service a reading from the Science of Mind magazine, which is the publication of the religious science organization. It was actually I believe the first editor was Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science. And if we think this is a troubled time we live in, it's kind of amazing to think that he started religious science in the middle of the Great Depression. And then, of course, there was the Second World War. So I think difficulties in the world don't mean that we can't still evolve spiritually. I think we have to believe that. So here's the reading for this day. And in the month of October, the magazine republishes some of the little essays by Dr. Holmes himself. Usually it's different religious science practitioners and ministers that write the essay, but this is actually Dr. Holmes' words, except for the introductory statement. Excuse me.
Now we really know we're at home. It's very good.
We do. It's very real here. We
Yeah,
are
very real here.
holding down the fort.
We decided to have a little share with the group while you were gone. We
Oh,
love your chair,
good.
Pasha. I just love that beautiful little chair you sit in. That's so
Oh, thank you. Well, I noticed that all three of us, without any conscious planning, we're all sort of color coded, wearing different
we
shades
are,
of blue.
including the chair.
Well,
Well,
I'm
you're
sorry,
here.
people. I have a new phone and I haven't learned how to turn off the ringer, but I hope it won't do that again. Okay, so here's the introductory quote. It's from Alice Ritchie, and it says, "All goes well with us when we keep ourselves in tune with spirit and adhere to its will and law. The laws of mind or spirit are not different from the laws of chemistry and physics. Metaphysics begins where physics leaves off. Everything is movement. Everything we can take hold of and analyze. All things in the physical world or the world of form are in a certain rate of vibration and are an effect. This is the result of an infinite thinker thinking mathematically. To reduce this proposition to the practical life of the individual, our belief is that anything the mind thinks it can unthink. If therefore, by the law of cause and effect, we have produced unpleasant conditions, we should be able by this same law to produce an entirely different effect. Another fundamental principle to our practice is that not only what is set in motion can be changed, but that the truth known is demonstrated. The knowledge of truth and its demonstration is both simultaneous and instantaneous. Since we are dealing with that which is limitless, knowing no big and no small, the possibility of our demonstration rests not in the principle, but in our acknowledgement and embodiment of the ideas we desire to experience. The saying of peace will not produce peace unless back of the word is the realization of the meaning of peace. So in the simplicity of our language, we try to convince ourselves of the reality of that for which we are treating, knowing that in such degree as we have an embodiment of the idea, it is thrown into a mechanical field and must operate. That's from the masterwork of Dr. Holmes, The Science of Mind. And the affirmation, I'll repeat it in 3 parts, and those you can repeat, I'll say it in 3 parts and you can repeat after each phrase if you so desire. I stand firm on the rock of reality, knowing there is but one, and that one is love. Thank you, Ernest Holmes. So now I would like to ask Christine for another musical offering.
Thank you, Pasha. This song is called Infinite Love, so that's a beautiful segue from what you just shared. It's a song I wrote, and the first time through, it's really an invitational question. You'll hear a little shaker tune that you'll probably recognize in the middle, and then the last pass through is the affirmation of the answer to the question. So yeah, feel free to take it in however it speaks to you today. Are you willing to receive the love, the infinite love of God? Are you willing to believe in your Are you willing to know and be the infinite love of God? Believe, receive, know, and be this infinite love of God. You are this infinite love of God. I am willing to receive the love, the infinite love of God. I'm willing to believe in my heart. There's more than I could ever ask for. I'm willing to know and be the infinite love of God. Believe, receive, know, and be this infinite love of God. So simple. We are the infinite love of
Whew, that was magnificent. I heard the simple gifts in the one section of it. Thank you, Christine. So now I believe I get to introduce Nancy. I was trying to remember when I first met Nancy, but I know it was more than 20 years ago because our New Thought Center was still New Thought Church, and it was meeting at the old Keoho Beach Hotel.
Beautiful.
So I think at least a quarter of a century.
Yeah.
And so for anyone who hasn't met her previously, she is a gifted psychic and counselor. She provides clear, direct guidance and teaching. And her work evolved from over 30 years of psychic practice, formal studies in psychology, and contemplative studies. Her information is presented in a grounded format with real-life examples. Nancy encourages each one of us to access our own inner guidance and recognize our unique gifts. Presenting principles of empowerment in a kind and humorous manner, Nancy reveals the depth and breadth of the sacred path. And when she is at New Thought Center, she moves a lot when she presents. It's almost like a dance, and I don't know if she's going to be able to sit still for whole duration of her talk, but we'll see.
We'll give it a try.
Her husband Errol is a wonderful supporter. He brings organizational strength and creates a place of safety and support. They've been a team for longer than I've known Nancy, probably, so more than a quarter of a century. So please welcome Nancy Shipley Rubin.
Thank you. Well, and we always, when we're here, we always talk about Oahu and our home. And now I'm in my home and I'm talking to you. And so what I first want to say is how much I appreciate you being here and tuning in. It's tricky. And some of you might have been zoomed out because I know it's a lot, but it's really important that we take the time to be together. That the most difficult part of what we all face here is isolation. And one level, we've been allowed to come into ourselves, to finish up the gazillion projects we never had time to do before. Suddenly there's a space for that. There's also has within our hearts the need to know that we are connected as community and that level of empowerment. And that's what I want to bring to you today is a real big, rich breath of aloha spirit and be able that we can really connect together and understand that each one of us make a huge difference from the thoughts that we think and the actions that we take. And so our theme today is power and presence. And the kind of power that we're talking about here is not a power that is power over. It's more power that aligns. It's like when I recognized in the beginning, thinking about power, I was always trained to be afraid of power, and that it would be something that you hold, you know, it's somebody out there that has the power and that sense of being trapped in it, or that it's like, and I think I lived on the deficient side of it. You know, I didn't have enough to make my dreams come true, to make the world what I wanted it to be. And so that I had this kind of fractured sense of what power was. And then I realized that every day I'm using my power. And I'm using my power either to create or I'm using my power to diminish or destroy. And that's the first thing we all have to address. How are we with ourselves? Do we realize the impact of thought upon our own being? Are we aware that when we go into loops of stress and entanglements and worry, that we're actually, if we're at the effect of that, we could make ourselves sick? And it isn't to say, oh, don't do that. You know, that's not going to work. It's never worked. If it would, we would have all be done by now. But it is a sense of understanding that we have compassion to our reactions and we have compassion to our friends who need support. So power, when it becomes presence, is enriched with love and warmth and a connectedness to something greater. Let me say that again. That when our power becomes presence, it is connected to that which is greater. It is connected to love. It's created to a sense of warmth. It brings in this new dimension that Holmes was talking about, this space that it empowers the thoughts that we hold the most dear to allow our dreams to come true. Take a breath. And come into your heart here for a minute and find out what's your heart have to say right now. What is your heart's message to you in this moment? And the heart always knows. In fact, the seat of presence is the heart. And when we want it to be real, we ground it through our body and we open our energy space so that this depth of connection becomes living force, not just held up here as a wish-fulfilling dream, but as an energized, a depth of connection and empowerment for what it is that we know is possible. So we have this little exercise. Pasha told you I was going to move you guys around. You know, it's like now all of us get to move, right? Not just one. And so I'm going to encourage you to stand up stand up. And we're going to energize power into love. That's our job, okay? Power into love. So to do this, I'm going to go to my power center, which is solar plexus, and I put my hands right on my solar plexus as if I'm kind of massaging the power of my solar plexus and getting a sense of the magnetism, the amount of energy that I have here in my body. Now, if I have basically been burning up and running energy through stress for way long, there may not be much energy here. And so if that's the case, we want to build energy and use our hands to draw forward this magnetism and sense that power of love in our power center. For others of us, we run on a pretty high caliber. We have a lot of energy that we want to do all sorts of things. And so that as this power comes, what we're acknowledging is that this power left to its own resources needs direction. And so what we're going to do now, we're going to take this power. You're good now, right? You've got it in your hands. We're going to drop it down. We're going to drop it all the way down into the big muscles of your legs. Big muscles of your legs, right into your buttocks. I want the power that's in this very delicate little space to go down into the biggest and strongest muscles in your body. And I want you to feel this grounding right down through the bottoms of your feet. Stay with me. All the way down through the bottoms of your feet. Good. Now we have downward flow. Okay, so that when power comes, it can move through my body and through my being and feel itself as a physical presence. But it's bigger than that. So now my earth connection, which is right at the base of my spine, I'm going to be here. I'm actually going to use my little knuckle to rub right at the base of my spine. Give it one of those little rub-a-dubs, yeah? So I'm going to feel that energy right in the base of the spine. And I'm going to invite the energy to start moving the earth current up through my spine, through my heart, right up into the back of my neck, right? So I'm in a sacrocranial connection here for those of you guys that know this magic. And I'm going to be inviting this energy from the earth all the way up into, you got it, into my visionary center. Okay, so now we're going to keep it going. Okay, so we're going to actually use our power to touch heaven. So it's like at this point, I want you to use your hands to bring the energy up, touch heaven, feel that sense of energy coming all the way up. This is your energy field. And as you bring your hands down, I want you to use your fingers like little filaments of light and fill your entire energy space with these filaments of light. What are we doing? We're building presence. Okay, so bring it all the way down, feel it touching the earth, and now pull it back up again, all the way up. Okay, we're going to do this 3 times, pulling the earth all the way up over the head. Allow your energy now to comb your field. This is your energy field. Get comfortable with it being this big, this powerful, and this presence. And bring it all the way down below your feet. And now pull it back up again. Okay, let's go one more time. So our hands are actually the instruments of the divine. Feeling it coming forward. Feeling that strength as it's moving. Combing the energetic filaments of my field. Bringing it all the way down. This is kind of like welcome home, yeah? And bring it all the way in. So it's like, as we're bringing it, now we're pulling it up the central channel and right into our heart space. And just take a moment to close your eyes for a second and feel your energy field. It's like a good energetic workout that says, okay, I exercise all the parts. I opened the downward flow, which brought my power from solar plexus. If your solar plexus has to hold this all the time, there will be extreme stress. It brought it all the way down into muscles and power. So you're in the power part of your body, holding your power. It grounds and then it energizes and brings this power of earth all the way up and through your body. Now, nature does this all the time. Let's sit back down, yeah? Nature does this all the time. If I go out walking and pick my avocados or whatever I decide to do in my day, my body's going to be responding and creating this energy. We call this the heart's dimension. That it's not just here I am in my heart, but here I am, the heart, the presence, that sense of connection. It's not something that makes me away from myself. I'm suddenly this wise person that lives on the moon. It's actually more real, more authentic, and more connected. So what happens then when I'm out in the world? When I'm in my presence, I am able to represent myself honestly from how I feel and what I need. So if someone comes in and says something sarcastic that's hurtful, I will have the ability to recognize that what was said may mean more about that person than it does about me. That I don't have to absorb everybody else's negativity and fear simply because I'm here. I actually have a presence that will allow me not to keep separate from whatever aggression or difficulties out there, but to be able to assimilate it to a higher wisdom place. Meaning that I don't have anything against them. If they are strange and difficult, I will move away. My body will know to protect myself in the very best way I can. What is different about doing this in presence versus just doing this in reaction? It's clean. You don't focus on it all night long. You don't have to tell the next 10 people what just happened. Your body digests. It assimilates and brings in your ability to stay with yourself, to take care of you, to give you everything that you need. Your body is so attuned in this power of presence that as you are listening, it will give you whatever you need to know at any given time as far as guidance, clarity, and message. And it moves on two different counts. It moves from this depth of, I need to know where I left my car keys, right? And so I get directed in that way. I also may need to know is that I really want love right now in my life. I've been hungry for it. It's been something that I've wanted for a long time. I would love to have a partner. And then as the universe responds to me, does it send me the perfect partner that I always wanted and couldn't hardly wait? Usually not, unless I am absolutely ready to be the perfect partner that I'm asking for. What the universe does is it accepts your desire by creating an apprenticeship so that whatever quality that you need to hold, whatever you're asking for out there, the universe provides you the ability to learn that quality in here. So you put it out and it comes back. So no longer are we talking about this power over. Even this benevolent force that came in and gave me a ding and the fairy godmother showed up and I get my prince. No, we're not doing power over. We're doing power in. The ability to energize, to feel that depth of connection that when I'm asking from something from my heart, I will be given everything that I need in order to embrace and hold that power in my being. So now comes the question, are you ready? Are you ready to really stand up and go, you know what? I have the ability now to face myself in pretty much any place that I am, to stop being afraid or stop running away from myself and really step in there and go, I am going to live a life of love and I am going to live a life of honesty and I'm going to tell the truth when my feelings get hurt and I'm going to represent what I think is real. That's presence. And that's what we're all basically being instructed to do in this time of COVID, is to come to our own inner authority, to make peace with our power, to transform the sense of this power misdirected into this power of presence, and allow a much deeper and greater sense of connection to love and to our own hearts. I thank you that you are here, that you're listening, that you're aware that you can do this now, that it isn't just this, oh, that's so nice, thank you, Nancy, and we forget all about it. It's no, this is in my body. This is real. I'm going to do this because why? Because I am present and I am here and I can do this. So thank you. And I really want to thank Christine and Pasha for their incredible sense of love and warmth to make this possible. So thank you. Pasha, I give this back to you.
And I thank you, Nancy. I really like that apprenticeship idea. If we don't manifest what we think we want immediately, it's just that we need to work on it a little bit more. Wow.
It's really about learning how and recognizing the instruction book is within. And I really feel right now we just have to recognize when we're afraid of some part of our nature, that we be kind about it. You know, it's like, this isn't a confrontational, you know, grab the monster. This is, it's a kindness. It's a warmth. It's an understanding that we have to be right with ourselves. And that's what I sense all of this is for. And you're so beautiful, Pasha, and your willingness to step in and create new frontiers for all of us to make this possible, that we can be connected. I just really appreciate that.
I think it's important to ask the right questions, yes, because when the question to you was, can you come to New Thought Center and speak on a Sunday in October? The answer was no, but when the question was, can you join us in consciousness by way of Zoom? It was a resounding yes.
Yes, absolutely, yes. Yeah, we're a little in quarantine over here in Oahu. We don't get to go anywhere without someone wondering where we went, so. But well, we're managing well, so we're doing good.
So if we were at New Thought Center, this is the point in the service where we would pass the koa bowl, our beautiful big koa bowl. But we're going to have to use a little bit of imagination. And Christine is going to do our offertory music. There's a couple of ways that people can donate if they're in a situation to and they are inclined to. The simplest way in this particular time is to donate by way of PayPal. And if you go to the New Thought website, www.newthoughtcenterofhawaii.com, there's a donate button. And that donate button will take you to the New Thought PayPal account. It's not actually necessary for the donor to have a PayPal account. So if you would rather use a credit card or a debit card, no problem. But it's channeled through the New Thought PayPal account. But if you aren't into that, we have a P.O. box, and that is available. That is on our website and on our, I think it's included in our newsletter every week, that we're happy to receive checks in our P.O. box also. And if you're not in a situation to give financially, just send us blessings, send us good thoughts. All right, Christine, what have you got for us now?
You two are so beautiful. This is a song called Allowing by Suzy Holter. And I just loved that message. Thank you, Nancy. And I'll just echo what Pasha shared. I just recently embarked on my own inner apprenticeship, and everything has shown up perfectly, stated the intention, and it was, just so, you just articulated it so beautifully. And I've just been watching that in wonder, how loving the universe is to guide us with the thing that's perfect for what we ask for. So thank you. This is called Allowing, and I think it fits with what we're talking about. So here we go. It's all about allowing space within, in absolute surrender, so serenity begins. For when the storm subsided and calm becomes the way, it's all about allowing it to stay. begins to flow, setting down the burden and just simply letting go. For as you cease the struggle and love pours through the heart, it's all about allowing it to start. Now feel it warm and shining new with promise, strong undying love, different than any you have known. And now the seed is sown. It is all about allowing change to show, then living in the moment like it's all we'll ever know. For as you cease the struggle and love pours through the heart, it was all about allowing. All about allowing it to start.
Now, this is the New Thought standing ovation, Christine. Can you see us, Nancy and me? Okay. It's the international sign language for applause, but raising the arms a bit higher. Nancy, I would like to invite you to share about if there's any sort of virtual classes or events that people could do through you.
Well, we decided we needed to make a contribution to the COVID experience. And so what we created was what we call Free Friday. And Free Friday, it's at 3 o'clock Hawaii time, every Friday for an hour. Anyone can join. They just have to contact us and we send a link, or you can get it off of my website. And it is a beautiful way of us staying together in the teachings and just being able to have kind of an ongoing understanding of what's going on energetically. So we try to include the influences that are taking place, the obstacles, it's like as we see them, and then resolution and connection with a very central theme of learning, because it's we're teachers, we can't help ourselves, right? So that's our offering. That is totally free and available. Free Friday at 3 o'clock. And our next workshop will be Power and Presence, and it will be in early November, the weekend of Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that Power and Presence embraces Free Friday, so that's free. And then we have 2 hours a day on Saturday, Sunday, which we pack in so much, it's like, it feels like a day. And it's beautiful because we'll be working with this grounding process, the ability to access that power of love in a very authentic and strong place while keeping your voice. And so that we're excited for that.
Well, that sounds great. And we can put your website, there's a little section in the YouTube, since most people are going to be receiving this by way of YouTube. The description section, we can put your website, so it'll make it easy for people to go.
Yeah, join us for the Free Friday. It's really fun, and we got a good cast of characters that come and be with us most every week. So it's a real strong group that loves to work together.
Oh,
we have a fair amount of the New Thought people that have joined us at time and again. So that's kind of fun. Yeah.
All right. Well, I have some New Thought announcements. We're sort of trying to meet people where they are. So there's some folks that really want to be in person on the lanai. There's others that feel much more comfortable being in their homes and doing virtual like we are today. And then there's Zoom, where you actually get to participate. So in the month of October, we've got 3 more Sundays. We're going to do one of each. So next Sunday, October 11th, our speaker will be Jim Carey, speaking on Mana I Lokoha, living in the present breath. And that will be in person on the lanai. Music by Mahina and Randy. When they're together, their group is Aloha Moon. It's primarily Mahina and Randy. Sometimes they bring in another person. So that will be wonderful. And it will also be, we had difficulty with our live streaming last week, but I am trusting that the problem will be solved. So some people can attend that in person and others can live stream. Our services start at 10 a.m. And if you are accessing by way of YouTube, or whether it's a live stream or a recording, it comes alive or gets activated at 10 Sunday Hawaii Standard Time. The following Sunday will be a YouTube recording like this week, and the speaker is Adriana Atento. She is in California. She'll be speaking on creation, creativity, and you. And her musician is Lara Prince, who is in North Carolina. So we're going to span 6 time zones when we do the recording, but when you access it on YouTube, it will be a nicely packaged unit, we hope. Finally, the last Sunday of October, October 25th, we will be doing a Zoom sharing service. And one thing that we miss when we do recordings is the opportunity to share our miracles and ordinaries. It's a part of our Sunday service that people really enjoy. So start saving them up, and you can do your very best one on that Sunday. That'll be where you get an invitation and you click on it, and you are connected with all the other people that clicked on it. It won't be recorded. So if you want to take advantage of that, you have to set aside the time. You can be anywhere, but you have to tune in at 10 o'clock Hawaii time. So looking forward to interacting with quite a few of you that way. We had about 25 for the New Thought birthday. So hoping we'll get a good group for this sharing service on the 25th as well. If you're in Kona, the weekly classes that are meeting at New Thought Center are gentle yoga on Mondays. That's from 5 to 6:30 with Maria Mann. On Thursdays, Davina leads the Kona Living Aloha group. And on the second Tuesday of the month, which will be the 13th of October, she does a monthly practice group. It has been called Safe Conversations, but I think she's changing it to Heart to Heart or something like that. It's a communication, learning great communication tools. And that's from 6 to 8 p.m. With a $10 suggested donation. I have a special announcement about crystal bowls. Today, October 4th, our crystal bowl healing meditations resumed for the first time since March. Thank you, Erin Peoples, for that. Erin is our crystal bowl minister. And we decided that every Sunday when there is not a Sunday service in person at New Thought Center, we will do the crystal bowls. That's from 9 to 9:30 in person on the lanai. Donations to New Thought Center are accepted but not required. So the Sundays in October when that will be happening, besides today, it's the 18th and the 25th. To receive our weekly newsletter, sign yourself up on the website. Probably most of you already did that if you're with us this morning. The other ways that we share information about New Thought is through our Facebook page and through the Dolphin Podners mailing group. So I think that takes care of all the announcements, and we don't have to think about masks or COVID rules since we're each in our own space. So I've asked Christine to do the Hawaii Aloha for us, and you can all just belt it out. Sing along with Christine if you know the lyrics.
Yes, you can. Yeah, and hopefully you all will be leading the charge because it's my first time playing this song and I'm happy to be doing it, but I know you know it better than I do. All right, here we go.
Thank you. Sending virtual hugs and wishes for an excellent week. Hope you'll rejoin us here on the YouTube station again next week, or if you're in Kona, come to the service. Aloha.
Aloha. Thank you.